Hello, good evening.
Hello, alright?
Could you please state for me your name?
Yeah, my name is Michael Caine, and not a lot of people know that.
And could you tell me any more projects you have been involved with?
Yeah, I've been in a lot of films. I'm normally right in front of the camera, or I'm right in the mid-shot of the camera, or I'm right at the back. Now, you take, for instance, Ben Hur. I'm right at the back.
That's lovely, thank you. Now, I want to give you a bit of an histoire de Conan.
Okay,
He is
yeah.
a barbarian. He has these very big muscles, and he spends a lot of time killing things in an angry way. I want you to show me some anger.
Okay, alright. You're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off.
Thank you. Next.
Good morning, good day, guten Tag, good evening, good night, goodbye! No, sorry. Hello! I have been given the privilege to present to you a game which is out on Kickstarter as I speak right now, and that game is Conan. This game will be finishing on the 11th of February 2015, so if you're watching this video sometime in the future, you might have missed out, but hopefully, fingers crossed, there is some way of you getting hold of this game. Now, Conan is a Sorry? There. Oh yeah. Conan is a strategic combat game which uses miniatures, and it is based in the world of Robert E. Howard's Conan. Strange coincidence, that. Now, a lot of painstaking work has been taken into this game to make sure that it is authentic to the books, because here in France, Conan is a very popular graphic novel as well, and a lot of my friends have grown up reading that and being fans of it. And so this game coming out has piqued their interest. Now, there are three things that have piqued my interest about this game. Number one, Frederick Henry is the designer behind Conan. And he has a good track record with me. There are games that he's put out that I really enjoy. Timeline, I recommend for everybody. Asteroids is a very good game as well, which I've enjoyed playing. I also got to meet Frederick Henry last year while he was out promoting his game Conan as a prototype form, and I got to chat with him, and I found out that he's a big Hero Quest fan, which is a big plus for me. Number two, there are a lot of very great French game designers that have had their input into this game by creating their own scenarios. Here's a list of their names on the screen. You'll recognise some of them and you will go, yeah. Okay, and number three, there are two mechanics that I've always wanted in a combat game. The first one is when the attacker and the defender go into a battle, they choose what part of the body they're aiming for or what part of the body they're defending with a deck of cards. They say, oh, I'm going to aim for your head, and the defender says, oh, I'm going to aim for that. And then you reveal them at the same time, and that will decide whether the attack was a miss because it was defended, or if it was a hit because it was a part of the body that wasn't defended, or if it was a critical hit because he was totally guarding the wrong area completely. That mechanic is not in this game. But the second one is. Now that is that the stronger your character is, the more they can do. The weaker the character is, the less they can do. It's always bugged me in Descent when you fight the big boss, and it doesn't matter if they've got 12 hit points or 1 hit point, whenever they attack you with their sword, they're still rolling 3 dice. Or whenever they're running away, they still run the maximum amount of spaces. In Conan, you don't do that. If you are weak, you can't do a strong attack and you can't do as many actions. Whereas if you're strong, you can. So, I'll stop talking now and I will show you this prototype. Let's go over to the table and have a look at it. Well, actually it's this table, but I haven't set it up yet. Yeah, one sec, let's jump to commercial.
Hello, name please.
Hodor.
You seem to have very big muscles, Hodor.
Hodor.
Okay, in this scene, you are with the princess. She is very beautiful, and you need to comfort her because she has just had this very, very intense experience in her life. This is a love scene. Okay, allez, go.
Hodor. Hodor. Hodor.
Thank you.
The following film footage is of the prototype version of the game Conan. None of the things you see in this video are the final product. Therefore, some of the artwork, playing pieces or rules will differ to those in other videos and also the final version of the game. Also, some of the things you see on screen will not be cohesive with the sounds that you are hearing. Therefore, we recommend you go see a psychiatrist and get your head checked out. Thank you for your cooperation.
Welcome to the British Village. Now, this is one of the scenarios which come with the game. It may have changed slightly over the time because this is an old prototype, and as you can see, some of these components are very old and not going to be in the actual final game. Now, the story behind this is that a princess has been stolen and hidden away by this chief of the village. He's an evil chief. Okay. The king has put out a bounty for his head and also to rescue his daughter who's hidden in one of these, like that one, hidden in one of these cabins in the village. Now, Conan, being a super warrior mercenary person, has said, yeah, we'll find him. So he's got his posse together of friends and they've come up with this plan. They're going to enter the village early in the morning, just as the hunters have all gone out hunting for their stuff. Woo, let's go hunting stuff, yay! Woo! Oh, sorry, that way. Yay. Okay, and he has 8 turns to find the princess, who's hidden in one of these buildings, take care of the chief and chop off his head, and bring it back before the end of the 8 turns, before these hunters come back. Woo, we've come back! And everyone else is waking up. So at the beginning of the game, you'll be choosing where your warriors are going to come in on. So they can come in 3 spaces, so they can come in here, or they can come in here, or they can come in here. And then you move around, as you can see these spaces here, and they cost 1 movement point each. And when you walk into a room, it costs 2 movement points each. And then there's combat, and you take turns and you go. So like the goodies will go, and then the baddies will go. Now let's take a closer look at the goodies and the baddies. Here's some of the heroes that will come in the game. You'll have Shavatis, and you'll have Valeria, and then of course you'll have Conan. Now Conan comes with some equipment, and he comes with 11 energy cubes. On the hero's turn, they can interact with each other, and they can decide, one player could move, then the second player could move, and then the first player could attack, and then the third player could attack, and then move, and then the first. So players are not bound by going 1, 2, 3. They can go in any order that they want. At the beginning of their turn, they'll say if they are active or if they are inactive and having a little breather, so to speak. This will come into play a bit later on in the game. On the player's turn, they can move, and here's marked how many spaces they can move normally, so they can move 2 spaces free. But if they want to move 4 spaces, they'd have to add 2 energy cubes into there to make it up to 4 spaces of movement. There's a maximum amount of movement that they can do as well. So here it's indicated by a red 4. So I can only put a maximum of 4 red cubes in there to move 4 spaces. If I wish to attack, I'd have to put an energy in there. Now that would give me 1 red dice. Obviously if I put a second energy in there, it would give me another red dice. And then I'd use any equipment that I have. So like this battle axe would give me a red dice. So that's 3 red dice for that attack. And then I'd roll them. Aha, not too bad there. As you can see. Now the battle axe would give me a reroll ability. But if I've used that reroll ability and it was still rubbish, I could spend an energy to go over to this box and reroll any dice that I wish. That's better. That also works the same with ranged attacks as well. So if you've got a ranged weapon, so like the battle axe can be thrown, but you will lose it. That's better, isn't it? And you have to go and pick it up. Obviously, again, the red number stipulates how many maximum gems you can put into that box. This here lets you try and open a chest or disarm a trap. So Conan's ability is an orange dice. Orange dice are not as good as red dice, but orange dice are better than yellow dice. You've got a better chance of successes. So the more dice, the more energy you put here, the more dice you can roll to try and unlock a trap or unlock a treasure chest. Here you have the maximum amount of weight that you can carry. So each item has a weight value. So this battle axe has a value of 3. I can carry 12. Once I get past 6 in total weight, which I have, I cannot no longer swim. If I get past 8, I can no longer jump. And then later on, if I get past 12, I can no longer move. Ha ha ha. Okay, at the end of your turn, after all the heroes have been, they take all their energy that they've used and they put it in their fatigue box. Simple, huh? And then on their next turn, they decide if they're going to be active or inactive. If they're active, they can recuperate 2 of these energy to put into their active box. But if they're inactive and don't do any actions that turn, they can put 5 in instead. Which is nice, isn't it? And if you lose players, you can add more energy. So if you're only down to 2 players left, instead of the team of 3, you can recuperate a bit more energy, which gives you a bit more chance. Now let's go to this box, the defense box. Well, what point is that? Well, basically, when the enemy attacks you, you can decide whether you're going to defend against it or not. Conan has this leather armor, which automatically just gives him 1 orange dice. But if on the baddie's turn, they decide that they're going to attack and they do a really strong attack, which does 5 damage, and Conan doesn't want to be damaged, he can do that and add 2 more orange dice to his defense roll. Anything that gets past his defense, he loses, and he can lose it from anywhere he wants. He can lose 1 from there, or 1 from here, or 1 from there. It's best not to lose it from there. And then this energy stays there the whole time, unless you take a potion which will help you soigner. Soigner. What's that word in English? Heal. That's the word. So there you go. That's a hero's card and what it does. Now this is the baddie's board, and it works kind of the same. When it's the baddie's turn, he can decide what he wants to activate. Now, if he wished to activate any of the team of red warriors, hunters on the plateau, he can pay 1 energy and then shift that character to the back, making all the other ones a bit cheaper. And then he can carry out those characters' movements and attacks as it corresponds to on their card here. So moves 2, defends with 2, and attacks with 2 yellow dice with rerolls. Okay, so that would make moving the snake on the first turn very expensive. I'll have to pay 5 energy to move the snake, which is quite a powerful creature. It can break down walls and it can block people. This tile here is a respawn, because eventually, sooner or later, a whole team of creatures will be wiped out. So, for example, the giant wolves. There are 6 of them on the board, but they got no shield. So Conan can quite easily cleave his way through a big pack of wolves with 1 hit and kill them all. And what will happen is they'll all be dead until you turn the tile over. And the way to get them back on the board is to pay the amount for the respawn, which tells you that you can respawn for 4 points. There we go. There's the camera. Woohoo! I'm getting good at this. So 4 points would be, however, the value of the creature is. So for a wolf, it'll cost you 2 points for each wolf to be respawned, so to speak. Whereas these pit hunters, they cost 1. So you could buy 1 blue hunter and or maybe 2 blue hunters and 1 giant wolf, and respawn them on the board, because sometimes your team will be killed. You'll lose 1 off the board, but you still have 2 on the board, which means that you can respawn 1 to come on one of the entries. The same thing will happen at the end of the enemy's turn. Any energy they spent, they can recuperate 5 at the beginning of their next turn. And there's a time track at the top here, which indicates what round you're on. And then again, when the enemies attack you, you can decide whether you want to defend or re-roll. Or if your creatures need to move more, you can decide if they move more. But then that energy goes into the use box, and you get the picture. So there you go. There's a brief overview of Conan and how it plays and what its mechanics are. And as you can see, there's no text. It's very Euro mechanics, but at the same time, you still have this kind of gritty theme of fighting. It's very adult theme of fighting. There's a lot of strategy to have here. There's a bit of an RPG element where you can get other equipment and make yourself stronger and better and superior. And there's a lot of thought while playing this game. You'll spend a lot of time negotiating and trying to think what's the best action to take each turn. And again, the story, this is just one of the stories, and it is an intriguing story, finding the princess and trying to rescue her and kill the chef, all within a time limit, like them. So, what do you think about that? If you're interested, go along to their Facebook page. The Monolith Facebook page is here somewhere on the screen. And if you're interested still even more, go to the Kickstarter right now, because this Kickstarter finishes on the 11th of February 2015. Then you can go and have a look at the wonderful art and miniatures that are up on the site, and you can just draw to your heart's content. Go check it out if you like what you see. Hello, and could you state your name?
Scooby-doo!
Okay, in this scene, your best friend has been kidnapped by an evil person. And that is your motivation. Okay, allez, go.
Shaggy? Shaggy! Rappy woo! Rappy! Rappy!
Thank you, goodbye.